Tariffs have killed Canadian card collecting. On March 13th, 2025, Canada implemented a 25% import tariff on hundreds of different goods coming from the United States. And this includes Pokémon cards. I'm Eric from Ketchum, Canada, and today we're talking about some of the struggles of being a Canadian Pokémon card collector. But I'm also going to share with you 3 tips on how you can save money on Pokémon cards in Canada. Let's get started. So you're probably asking yourself, Eric, I'm Canadian. Why should I even care what's happening south of the border in the United States? Well, like it or not, the United States has the largest market for Pokémon trading cards in the world. And unfortunately, as a Canadian, it's just not viable to buy your cards from the United States right now. And there are a few different reasons for this. Right now, the Canadian dollar is very weak, so we get a terrible exchange rate between Canadian to United States dollars. There's also the cost of international shipping. It's very hard to find offers for free shipping when you're buying stuff from the United States. We also have the extremely high sales taxes in Canada. Canadian HST ranges from 13 to 15% on all your consumer goods, depending on where you live in the country. And on top of all of that, we now have a 25% import tariff on hundreds of different goods from the United States, including Pokémon cards. Now, I actually had to find this out the hard way. A couple months ago, I was really excited to get my first PSA graded slabs of some of my favorite cards. So I started bidding on cards like that on eBay. And all of these bids were being placed with sellers in the United States, and I actually ended up winning 4 different auctions on these PSA graded cards. That included a PSA 10 Pidgeot from Obsidian Flames, a PSA 10 Pidgeotto from Obsidian Flames, a PSA 10 Skarmory from Surging Sparks, and this Near Mint 8 Kirlia from Scarlet and Violet Base Set. So I made all of these auctions around the market price for the cards in United States dollars. And I thought, wow, I got a pretty good deal. But a few weeks went by and I never got my cards come through in the mail. So I checked online and they were all stuck at the same warehouse with the same shipper south of the border. And they just stayed there in limbo. And after about 6 weeks total of them not arriving, I got an email and it said outstanding balance DHL. So I open up the email and in there it tells me I have to pay this outstanding tariff of $113.90 so my cards can come into the country. And there was nothing I could do about it. The auctions were already closed, the cards were already shipped, the eBay vendors already had their money. Whether I liked it or not, I had to pay that $113.90. So I did, and I got my cards. But this really dampened my spirits. It took what I thought was a good deal at the market value for the cards. Then we had the exchange rate to Canadian dollars and it made it into a less good deal. And then we had the $113.90 charge on top and it turned it into a terrible deal. So unfortunately, I had to learn this the hard way, but I've come up with 3 different tips that I'm going to share with you in this video to help you save money on Pokémon cards as a Canadian collector. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. So my first tip is how I find really good deals online for single Pokémon cards. Unfortunately, the 2 largest vendors for individual Pokémon cards are eBay and TCG Player. They're owned by the same company and they do almost all of their business out of the United States. Actually, TCG Player does all of its business in United States dollars and ships from the United States. So as a Canadian, right now, they're off the table. But with eBay, while the majority of the listings are from the United States, they actually do have some vendors who sell out of Canada. And that's where I find the really good deals. So what you have to do on eBay is filter down your search to show exactly the best deals for you. So whatever I'm searching for, I filter it to be Canada only, I filter it to be auctions, and I filter it to be ending soonest. Now this is going to shrink down your search from thousands of different options of Pokemon cards to maybe dozens. You might have 20 or 30 or 40 in your search, but that is going to give you the best chance at finding the right deal for you. Now, the upside to all of this is you're going to have way less competition on these auctions. All the stuff that applies to Canadians buying from the United States also applies to Americans buying from Canada. They're subject to similar tariffs, similar fees, and a lot of them won't buy stuff from Canada because it's just too expensive for them as well. So what you'll find is when you're bidding on these Canadian auctions, you might have free shipping or very low shipping cost, and there's not going to be very many people competing with you on those items. So once I have those searches in place, Canada only, auctions, ending soonest, I'll find the cards that I like, figure out which price I'm comfortable at paying, and then I'll put in one strong bid. And I'll do this right as the auction is closing. In the last 30 seconds before the auction closes, I put in my one strong bid, and usually I get the card at a decent price that I'm comfortable with. I don't want to start a bidding war. I don't want this ongoing back and forth of the price going up and up and up and up and up. I figure out what I'm comfortable paying. I put in one bid. Try this out on eBay. I think you're going to have really good success and hopefully find some really good deals on Pokemon cards. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 for finding cheap Pokemon cards is buying them off of Facebook Marketplace. I guarantee you that if you live in a well-populated area in Canada, you will be able to find good deals on Pokemon cards on Facebook Marketplace. Now, there is more that goes into it than buying cards online. Usually you have to meet up with the person in person, have to schedule it, have to see the cards, have to go leave your house and meet somewhere and do your deal. But there are huge benefits. The number one benefit is that you eliminate all of the vendor fees associated with the deal. If somebody sells something on a site like eBay, not all of the money for that sale goes to the person selling the item. The vendor, eBay as an example, would take a cut of that sale. I believe it's around 20%. So when you have cards listed on a site like that, this drives the price up because the people selling the cards want to get the full value for it, so they price it higher, and then eBay takes their cut off of the top. When you're dealing with someone in person, you eliminate those fees altogether. And a lot of the times you can find deals for cards at market value or below market value, as long as you're willing to do the little bit of legwork to go drive out and meet up with someone and schedule it and all of that. And the other benefit is that you get to meet up with a fellow Pokemon card collector. You guys could go to trading card events together, you could do trades directly from your binder, show off each other's collections, connect with somebody else in the hobby. So if you want to find great deals on Pokemon cards, try Facebook Marketplace. I guarantee you're going to find something pretty amazing. Tip number 3. So tip number 3 to find good deals on Pokemon trading cards is going to live trading card game events. I'm actually planning to go to 2 different events this year. I have some time off at the end of September, beginning of October, and I'm going to go to HobbyCon in Mississauga and a one-of-one trading card event in St. Catharines, Ontario, in the end of September, beginning of October. So I'm really excited for that. But trading card events are a really great way to find good deals on Pokemon cards. Usually you can trade cards directly from your binder, so if there's things that you're not that excited about to have in your collection, you can use that directly as leverage for your deal on whatever stuff that you do want to get. And also you get to see the cards live and in person. If you're buying cards that are ungraded near mint, you can check them out for yourself. You can negotiate with the vendor face to face, work out a deal that you're comfortable with. And again, you're eliminating the vendor fees, you're eliminating the shipping cost, you're eliminating all of that, but you have to go in person to these events and deal with people face to face. I'm really excited. Which trading card events are you gonna go to this year? Because I'm gonna go to 2 of them and I'm super pumped. That brings me to this week's video giveaway. I'm giving away this copy of a Near Mint to Mint 8 PSA graded Kirlia from Scarlet and Violet Base Set. This is one of the cards that I bid on eBay from the United States, and it ended up being a pretty terrible deal for me. But don't worry, I already paid the international shipping, I already paid the terrible exchange rate, I already paid the tariffs,
China.
And if you win this card, I'm gonna ship it to you anywhere in the world for free. If you want to participate, all you have to do is like the video, comment down below where you find your good deals on Pokemon trading cards, then subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for next week's video and next week's video giveaway. Thank you.